Yes, my viewers and subscribers, welcome to another episode of Jamaica Politics Uncovered. Guys, in this video, I am going to show you how Bunting carried on in the Senate to read his speech, his budget speech, his debate speech. And guys, we all know that the speech that Bunting wrote, it was inappropriate for a budget presentation. But he's hell-bent that he wanted to read a part of the speech that talks about good governance. That's all fine and good, but the setting must be appropriate. I mean, if he really wanted to read a budget speech, he could have read the part where Mark Golding talked about a budget. But he insisted that he was going to read where Mark Golding left off. Nobody does that, right? If you were listening to the live broadcast last night, you would have heard our correspondent Liz making a suggestion as to how it was best to complete the speech. Liz suggested that Mark Golding could have requested of the House Speaker the day that the Prime Minister opened with his budget speech to finish his speech since the Parliament was not able to carry on. And I thought, that would have been a better idea, is that the leader of the opposition go back to the Parliament the next day and say, listen, I'm here to listen to the Prime Minister's budget speech. Can I finish mine yesterday since we didn't make it to the finish line on my speech? Maybe the Speaker would have said okay, or maybe she could have ruled, in her party's and her husband's favor and say, no, my husband is here to speak and, so on and so forth. So we have never in history heard anybody say, I need to finish the opposition leader's budget speech or I need to finish the Prime Minister's, but nobody does that. But look how Peter Bunting carried on.
So therefore, I'm going to use some of my time today to complete that section of the opposition leader's presentation, which he was unable to complete in the House. I'm reading it for the Hansard. When you are making your contribution, you decide how to use your time. I know that the truth hurts. I know that the truth hurts and you don't want to hear it. But the truth may be an offense, but it's not a sin. So I'm going to pick up at the start of that section. It was titled, Good Government in National Life. Change at a national level must focus on good governance. In this modern era of pervasive information sharing and communication, good governance is increasingly essential to maintain the people's trust and confidence in our democracy.
No, Senator Bunting.
Yeah?
We are here debating what is entitled the bill, Consolidated Fund to the Service of the Year ending on the 31st of March 2025. Thank you.
The bill before us covers every aspect of government. That's right. Every aspect of government. It covers the Auditor General, Clerk of the House. It covers the Integrity Commission.
Senator Bunting,
every
continue
and where I am going to speak on anything that is covered by that bill. Everything that is covered in this book. And if you want to muzzle me, you're going to have to take me out of here. You can shut off the thing, but you can walk out and remove that quorum. Do whatever you want. But
Senator Bunting,
it is my contribution. I am speaking to this book, which covers every aspect of government. Who tell me that?
I determine what is relevant, Senator.
No, you don't.
I determine.
No, you don't.
Very well.
No, you don't. You can come and try with that bullying tactic.
Let us see, Senator Bunting.
You don't determine
Senator Bunting,
my contribution. I decide what is relevant.
I determine what is relevant.
No, you don't.
Okay.
No, you don't.
Well, when I make the ruling, you will see.
You can try and use that to muzzle. You can try and use that to muzzle me, but you're not preventing me from speaking.
What we are witnessing here, guys, is a deep level of frustration. Peter Bunting is just now realizing the level of damage he has done to the opposition. They keep talking about the government and blaming the government about having the majority and using their majority. Yeah, the government has a majority, but Bunting contributed to the PNP coming down to 14 seats. Peter Bunting is the one who ran a sabotage operation on his leader and party to make sure that they lost badly because he did not get to win the leadership. So, like when you cut off your nose to spite your face kind of thing? Yeah, that's what he did. And now he's seeing how damaging it is because they don't have a majority. And therefore, the government will at times use their majority. You know what I mean? And that's his frustration and that's his gripe. But, he thinks he's the leader. He wrote the budget speech. He didn't get to deliver it before the Prime Minister and all the other members of Parliament because he lost his seat. So he goes to the Senate and does something that nobody ever does, which is to finish the budget speech of his leader. Nobody ever does that. But you see the lady behind him who's egging him on, Sophia Binns, Leota Bradshaw bestie. Want to hear what she had to say about Bunting in 2019.
This, you cannot dispose of your integrity. Integrity is something that you have whether or not you are being observed. He launched his campaign on a platform of integrity, and he has abandoned it for political expediency. That disqualifies him to lead this noble party, and it disqualifies him to lead this great country.
Yeah, she was standing behind Donna Scott, who is also a senator. And that's how she really felt about Bunting. You see her body language? She not nothing with him. It's all a show. So for her to be egging him on, I'm kind of a little bit surprised by that because nobody ever does what Bunting is trying to do. There's an agenda before the Senate of things that they should be talking about that day. Bunting is behaving like a gangster. You can't just come into the Senate and tell people, say, well, this is what I'm here to talk about. No, you follow the rules. And just like everybody else, you follow the rules. And then on top of that, he tells the Senate president, the acting Senate president, I'm not going to do what you say. The man I preside over the house. But Bunting is telling him, I'm going to do it my way. I don't have to listen to you. This is what I'm here to do. So you see that kind of bully tactic, bully attitude. The man should have really get him out of the Senate or lock off his mic, Something to like that because he's trying to set a precedent now where rules are going to be diminished in there. Anybody can come do what they want to do. This is what Bunting did to the PNP. This is what Bunting is trying to do to our political institution in Jamaica, is to destroy it, bring it down to shambles and ashes like he did to the PNP. Well, if all the politicians want to sit there and endorse this type of behavior on the opposition side, the world is watching and the world is looking on, And at this point, I feel like we need to be patriots and really get some of these people from out of our politics because they're nothing but self-serving and, come with all type of witchcraft and tactics to, confuse the people. It's just noise, all noise. I think what he's doing here is undermining Mark Golding. I think Bunting is being loud and trying to get attention because he wants the country to know that I wrote that budget speech. That's my speech. And I want a piece of the pie. Mark Golding is getting the attention, negative attention about it. I want some too. So I want the country to know says him write the budget speech. And that, my friends, is undermining the opposition leader. Yes, it is. How do you go in the Senate and say, make a finish this speech where you know you're right? Anyway, guys. Make sure you are keeping it locked here to Jamaica Politics Uncovered for all your political news, reviews, and updates. Make sure you're subscribed, you have your notification bell on, and you are inviting your friends here. Be sure to tune in to our live broadcast Monday to Friday at 7 p.m. See you in the next video.